All right, we're going to look at our Hotter Than Hell 100 app. Here I have on my phone the Hotter Than Hell 100 app right here. We've put on a web published version of the app here on an Android device to give you an idea of some of the functionality of the app. So here the app is, the app icon is here. So go ahead and tap that. We'll see it's coming up. And when you start out, you're going to come to this landing page the very first time you open the app. This is not the first time on this device. The app's been opened, so it skipped it. But here you'll enter your information. So you've got your information, first name, last name, and email, and then the ride, enter the ride. If you tap that before you've entered that information, you'll see that nope, that is required. So let's go ahead and register. Let's say, how about a John Doe? We've got our fields all filled in. Now when we hit enter, we go ahead and it takes us to our main landing page here, our main home page. And here's where an individual would go ahead and be able to register on site, also get access to info and events, and if you're a volunteer, you'll log on. Once you've logged on once, you'll never go back to that. You'll never go back to that home page again. It'll always come here to this home page. So let's go ahead and do a registration. Let's say we're going to register for a gravel ride, let's say, or an endurance ride. Let's go ahead and do a gravel ride. We'll see that here it auto-populates the ride group you're going to be doing. You're going to actually need to choose a route. It's already auto-filled your name and email address. You'll need to put in your phone, city, zip code, age, sex, emergency contact, and emergency contact number. So let's go ahead and choose here a route distance. Let's say we're not too crazy. We're going to do the party loop. And we'll put in our information here, just some fake information for a phone number. Let's say we're in Wichita Falls. Let's say we're there. And then let's say 36. And we're male. And our emergency contact is Jane. And there we go. Now we'll be able to go ahead and go on and sign our waiver. So here is our waiver. Of course, we have a waiver for Hotter Than Hell to say that as many sporting activities event. You'll scroll through that waiver. When you get to the bottom, you'll tap, and now it'll pop up a I agree to the terms button. And once you've done that, you'll be able to actually submit your registration. So that'll bring you to our payment page, which says, yep, you've submitted your registration successfully. You owe $75 for late registration, and you'll go to the gravel events table to pick up your packet. And you could register for another event and or register a child for the 10K. If we go back to our home page now, you'll notice that we have a button that wasn't there before, which is the ability for the rider to call SAG. So if you're out on the route, something happens, you call SAG. And that will auto dial our SAG folks. If we look at our profile page now, we see we've got our name, email, and address, and our event that we have currently registered for. And we can register for additional events if we chose to. We can take a look at our events. We can see in our events we have schedules of events, consumer show vendor information, dining and lodging information, parking and access maps, and route maps for all of our maps. So let's say we want to go look and see what the party loop route is going to look like. It's going to pull us up at our current location, which happens to be my house right now. But if we scroll out, we can, whoops, a little bit too far. We can see our party loop over here, and we can see here's the outline. Now, when you're actually riding the route, this should track you, and your little bike man will be on that route as you're riding. If we go back to this info page, which is the maps and info navigation button at the bottom, We could check out the schedule of events. Let's say we want a little reminder for our gravel ride. That's right there, 7:05 p.m. Let's go ahead and punch that in our calendar. If we click that icon, it's going to bring up our Google Calendar if we're running that, and we can save that. And if we go to our phone, we can see, I can get back to my homepage. We can see if we go to our calendar app now, there will be a entry on that day for our uh, ride. Well, I must have tapped the wrong one. Now we're going on the endurance ride. Um, let's see. All right, so if we want to check out what's going on around the venue, here's a schedule of venue events. And if we want to check out what the consumer show hours are, we've got those right here handy as well. For our vendors at the consumer show, we'll have a page here that'll highlight those. There may be more that would fill in. This is just for some demo purposes. Let's go see if we want to go buy some pickle juice. So here comes up the pickle juice information. It tells you that they're located at booth 8, so you can go find them. And we can actually go visit their website if we want to and just buy a whole case of pickle juice if that's what suits our needs. Let's say we want to go and look at what some local lodging possibilities might be. We have here our Wichita Falls Chamber of Commerce link to all of the hotels in town. Maybe we want to do a little dining. We have a link here to, again, the Chamber of Commerce page with information about local restaurants. And let's say we want to know how to access where we're going to park our RV. Here's our RV parking maps. And let's say we need to go again and look at our route map for whatever reason. Let's say we decide, oh, maybe we want to go ride the mountain bike. What does that look like? We can look on here, zoom in, and say, oh, that looks like a fun ride. Let's go register for a mountain bike race. So we can go back to our registration page and say, oh, okay, let's go do a mountain bike race. So here we go again. We'll have to put in a category. Let's say we're just a beginner or a novice. But all the other information that we've previously filled in is already filled in for us, assuming we've got the same information. If we need to change it, you can overtype it. So now you're able to go ahead and sign the waiver. Well, you've already read the waiver, haven't you? It's the same waiver. So you can agree to it again and submit your registration. Now you owe a little bit more money, and you're going to need to go to the dirt events table for your off-road event. All right, so that kind of demonstrates the functionality of our app. Go. And if you check your profile now, you can see, yep, you're signed up for a lot of things. And hopefully our riders will enjoy that. Now, for our volunteers, they're going to log in through this volunteer login. And at this juncture, they'll go ahead and put in their top secret usernames and passwords. And go ahead and log in. And here's where they'll be able to access our database backend, which we're going to show you here in just a minute, what our backend will look like when we actually register someone. They'll be able to actually look at the SAG requests and respond to that SAG request. If an individual calls in, it's going to give them their GPS location, which will bring up a map and be able to see where they are. And we're going to demonstrate that in just a second here. So that is sort of an overview of our Hotter Than Hell 100, the Ride app. Thanks.